Welcome back, everybody, to Day 2 here, the Round 2 Grand Playoffs between Jin Air and CJ. We did just see Byung tie it up against Pure, and we're going to see who Jin Air is going to send out for this next game on Coda.
But they've got a lot of different choices, a lot of flexibility. I think it's going to go, to be fair, I thought initially, but I think I'm wrong already now that I had a look at the lobby. But Rogue would make sense here as well.
I think Maru is the only wrong choice, personally.
Maru is the wrong choice.
It's Rogue.
Oh,
He's
Rogue
coming
out early.
Yeah, I totally saw that. I was going to say before the break that, it makes sense that SOS here save Rogue to maybe Cactus and put Maru in between around Echo or Terraform. But I guess Rogue is just good enough. It doesn't actually matter where he comes in.
Well, it's crazy to see him basically play two different matchups. He played two matchups yesterday, defeating Bunny and then defeating Hero with a very unique style. Now going into a totally different type of player, different caliber of player. Let's be real, Byung is on a totally different level from Bunny. He's much better. He can play Bio and Mech. He's done both before in this matchup. He's a scary Terran to play against on Coda, I have to say.
It's not going to be kind of that run-over game that Rogue had against Terran yesterday. And we saw that Rogue had a very prepared build for Hero, so maybe he's not going to be as prepared for Terran here against Byung.
Maybe they want to get this snowball going. They're confident that Rogue can beat Byung, and they want him to just snowball through so they can hide more strats going into the finals if they're that confident.
Yeah, well, he certainly is a specialist against Mech, and I'm sure they're expecting that from Byung this game as well.
And the maps are definitely going to work out for him if he does win this game. Just going into the next couple, you got Echo and Terraform up next, so wouldn't be surprised if he does pretty well, but he's got to get past Byung here in game number 3. And that is going to be Coda, as we mentioned before. Let's jump into it now, Byung versus Rogue. Here in the top left, in the yellow from CJ Antis, getting one win so far, it is Byung.
And on the Jin Air side of things, it is Rogue coming out early today. Spawning in the green on the right side of Coda. Now, do you guys think that because Rogue is so good versus Mech, that it might even be a good idea to do something different as Byung try to bio, or maybe even do like a Hellbat timing or something like that?
Yeah, I think some sort of early aggression would be pretty favorable against Rogue at this point. Rogue has a lot of different styles and some great late games specifically against Mech. So maybe trying to avoid that would be a good idea, or even throwing out the bio wouldn't be a bad choice if you can make it work.
Yeah, and whatever he is going to go for here, him and the two coaches from CJ were in deep discussion before this game went down during the break. We were theorizing maybe they did see the player that was going into the booth, wanted to talk to him about certain strategies. It seemed like Byung had like a certain idea of his own. Maybe he was saying, I'm just going to go Mech, whatever. But the CJ coaches were like, no, he's too on fire these days. Do something crazy. We want you to get this win easy.
Yeah, Byung also looked a little bit distraught in the booth.
Yeah.
You can imagine, if you find out your opponent is Rogue and you're a Terran player right now, it's not a happy place to be. Well, you're going to see a pool first, in fact, from Rogue. Did not expect that.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty interesting start here. Perhaps afraid of some sort of aggression. And even hiding the barracks is Byung, near the back of his main base, which is pretty unusual, but it's going to stop the Overlord from scouting it, so there will be a threat of a proxy on the map.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I mean, this definitely is one of those maps where you do see proxy reapers a lot of the time. It's very easy to jump up into the main from any of those areas around the bottom of that cliff. There's so many different places to put a racks, so it's kind of hard to just scout it straight up with an Overlord. You don't want to send out a drone either.
Also, it's going to bait the Overlord, maybe even get an Overlord kill because Marines are coming out with no gas, so if he tries to be a little too brave with this Overlord, he could just lose it.
Yeah, if he's like, oh, I see, CC first, or
look,
oh, your proxy.
Hiding the Marine, waiting for that second one. Scary thing.
Yeah, it's really smart. The Overlord is hanging on the edge, though, as he goes to check the gas.
Smart from Rogue as well. He's going to make 6 lings and a queen very fast as well because he has not seen the racks, just in case.
Ooh, make that 8 lings. Looks like he wants to try and deal some damage to this command center as well.
If the Marines are after the Overlord at that moment, it could be terrible. So, saying it's tough for CJ.
I didn't like that handwriting.
Yeah, it was like 3D messing with my eyes.
Need 3 glasses to read that properly. Well, onto this 8lings versus 3 Marines with good micro. You know, you can survive this as Byung, but obviously a bunker is ideal. And if you can actually force a cancel on the CC, that's the big win.
Big mistake there. Not gathering his lings before he went for that, but still it would have been almost impossible against 3 Marines like that on the top of the ramp.
Quick double gas for Byung into this as well. And he's going to be able to tech up pretty quick with actually already an SCV lead with that pool first, with 8 lings being made. That could have been 4 more drones.
This offers him a bunch of different options. Could go into some kind of timing. Could also go for Widow Mines. We've been seeing that these days. You saw it yesterday as well out of some of these Terrans up against the Zerg. Go for a lot of Widow Mines early. Could also just be Banshees trying to go for some harass here after getting out some Hellions.
I think anything to disrupt Rogue early is definitely the way to go as a Terran in this matchup. I think we might be seeing Cloak Banshees as the follow-up. We saw Cloak Banshees actually work really well all throughout round 4 in this matchup, as well as the end of Starly, kind of the round of 16, the round of 8. Almost every TPZ we're seeing Zerg players struggle to deal with Cloak Banshees. Now we haven't seen them as much, but they could come back in this game in particular.
Yeah, they're always a relevant thing, and it'd be great. It's a great defensive unit early as well if roaches are on the map, but doesn't look like it's going to be that way. It looks like Rogue planning to go for that 2-base muter style. It's just going to be at him trying to identify what is Byung doing, and trying to figure out if those Banshees are on the way.
We saw yesterday Rogue kind of just run around the map with Mutalisk versus Bunny, just totally controlling the game and just having a flock that never died, and his control was really good. And Bunny really struggled to defend. Let's see if Byung can do otherwise.
Well then.
Yep. Well. Anyway.
It's going to switch that starport onto the tech lab, and we are going to have Cloak Banshees here.
Best casting KR.
Oh, well. Indeed we are. So it's going to be that Hellion Banshee style with Cloak. So I think we are going to see mech after all, but run by.
Oops. Only 2 Hellions, but should still be able to find damage, especially if the drones stack. 3 drones already worth it.
Yeah, and look at how much time he's losing. Hellion trying to come back here and get one more shot. Not quite. But does get 3 in a big pulse, so definitely worth it.
All right, well, yeah, see, no add-on still on the barracks. Just going to be a lot of Hellion Banshee, but we didn't see an armory just yet, did we? So no Hellbats with this, which is kind of a surprise. It's definitely a timing that you can do, and it would do very well against Rogue at this point, considering there is no Baneling Nest at all. It would only be Queens and Zerglings defending.
Big scan there as well to see the Queens out of position. Also sees the lair.
Run by. So much damage potential here.
Lings are coming in here, trying to bug out the different locations, and he does get a big surround and does kill all 4 Hellions for barely any losses.
And this is a great position for Rogue now as well, because his Spire is nearly ready. He's getting spores, and he will have, the ability to make Overseers. He already has 1 on the map. Cloak should not be a problem with him. He has 5 Queens, and he's only defending 2 bases. If this Banshee finds damage, Rogue is doing something wrong. Let's see.
Oh, very smart. They're already pulling the drones. Spore finishes up. The only real damage he's taken is pulling the drones, especially from the natural. He lost a lot of mining time.
Banshee coming in here trying to get some damage down. Does get 2 kills, but that's going to be it. And the Banshee getting decently low, down to 23 health.
Could totally snipe that as well.
Yeah, if he was really looking, he actually could kill it easily.
It's kind of surprising that we haven't seen third even being started for a Rogue, though. It's been a long time. He does have the option to do so after wiping out so many Hellions as well.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised about that also. Maybe he just wants to have those Mulas for extra safety first.
It does seem like Rogue has been in full safety mode from the beginning, outside of like walling his ramp or something. I mean, even beginning with the pool first, just to make sure that Byung can't kill him in any way possible. And then just wants to get into that late game because, as we said before, he's very confident against really anything that the Terran can throw against him late game.
Well, he really wants to know also if he's up against mech before he makes any other tech choices. You will see You know, there's a bunker here, a tight wall. I think you saw that third CC, but it's at the natural, not at the third base. He hasn't been able to identify these factories yet. He has an Overseer somewhat nearby, but it was denied. This Mutalisk harass should spot it.
Hellion run by once again, but so many queens waiting, and Lings have found him. Shouldn't do too much, though.
It's funny because when he scanned, that's when Rogue knew. He was like, no, you've already done this scan and run by. Oh, he's trying to even catch these Hellions. Good split here.
Yeah, he's going to be wasting a lot of them on the map here. But he is transitioning into mech, so it's all just a distraction to keep him alive, to keep the Zerg honest, and try and slow the Zerg down as much as he can before that economy gets up and running for the Terran as well.
He wants to get those Thors up. He wants to get those turrets ready for the Mutalisk. There's even... Oh, man, Widow Mine does not trigger.
Smart from Rogue. He knows what the threats are on that base, and he's not going to go too far.
He's going Reactor Vikings with these Thors. It's going to be tough for Mutalisk to find damage, but he's still producing them.
Ooh, yeah, he's going for a big Muta play here, and this could be the wrong choice because nothing but Thors and Vikings and Hellions being made for Byung. He's going for that style, that's tankless style. I'm kind of scared that he made the wrong choice here.
It's like what we've seen from Gumiho a lot of the time. And Gumiho can make it work decently well versus Roaches, but versus pure Muta, I mean, obviously it's the perfect counter. The Roaches are going to have late upgrades as well. And Roach speed is not coming out for a long time, so there's no more harass potential. He's going to have to find damage with Mutalisk, or he's not finding any at all.
Yeah, generally when we see this work out with this many Mutas in the game against mech, it's when they come out as a surprise. We saw Biel versus, I think it was Gumiho maybe, or some other Terran on Vani Research Station. He just like sat back and built a giant bank and then made like 50 Mutas all of a sudden, and he just didn't have enough to deal with it. But here maybe he's just banking on the fact that Byung's not going to expect this many upgraded Mutalisks coming in at this time. But
yes, but there's 3 Thors already, 5 Vikings and turrets going up. It's going to be a hard choice here, but he's going to might be able to do some damage in the main base.
He does find a window in here, loses 1 Muta. Good repair on the turret, but you know, he's finding some damage, and this is going to require a Thor at least to come back. Vikings coming back now as well. He finds a run by in the third.
This is really cute. Just a small group of Lings coming in and disrupting so much mining. The tanks were not yet in position.
Very beautiful run by there. Even saving a lot of the Lings. 8 SCVs going down in that harassment. Now Muta's got to be careful here. Everything coming back.
Yeah, he's trying to play some ping pong here, a little bit of tennis maybe, with this small mech army that's not very mobile. But as he does go into Hive Tech, he's getting all the upgrades for his Roach. He's building that Roach count. Going to try to grab a second refinery here. He got the first one. Ooh, those are some nasty shots.
That was a big hit. Lings going into the main and natural at the same time, though. He found his way in.
This is a huge mistake to allow this to happen.
Not many Lings, though, so he should be okay.
That was a bit dangerous.
Oh, yeah.
I think that was intentional, too. I think he was trying to bait that shot in. Did not work out as well as he liked, but Byung is not too disrupted by this. He's still got a healthy 3-base economy, and his mech army is getting stronger.
Yeah, that's the scary thing about mech. As long as you can kind of survive for that super late game, you are going to be pretty fine. Unless the Zerg takes like 6-7 bases and you're super far behind. But this is definitely a composition where you can kind of play a bit from behind and stay in the game, as long as you can eventually get some kind of 4th base up in the middle of the map.
Rogue needs to be careful about committing to these attacks. There's several walls in place, as well as siege tank. There's only 1 siege tank here at this location, so we can find some damage. In fact, just going to kill a refinery and just walk away, I think is the best next step here.
Yeah, slow down that gas income, especially on 3 bases. It's really going to hurt the mech Terran progressing to that maxed out army. And trying to do what he can while he goes to Hive. Behind this, I'm sure it's going to be a lot of Vipers, but we'll see how many he commits to. I really want to see him do the style he did on Terraform that one time, where he made like 8 Vipers, and it did such amazing work.
Byung is making some small mistakes in this game, as the Korean commentators just pointed out. He's only got 1 SCV in that refinery. He's missing a refinery at his 3rd base, which is just now being replaced. He also lost his barracks, and he's only on 3 factories, so that's not enough. So he has to replace his barracks before he can add additional factories, something he could have been doing as soon as he realized that his barracks was going to be killed. So everything is kind of slowed down here for Byung, and his gas count is at basically 0. And he's not going to build a bank of that anytime soon.
Oh, this is good. This is very good for Rogue. Going to get rid of these tank speeds. He's going to open up that base, but
it was good there for a moment
until every Muta went down, I guess.
Well, he's going to open up this base at the same time, and he's going to take out some of these turrets with the Roaches. We'll see how much damage he's really able to get done here, though. He's going to take out a sensor tower, and I guess from here you kind of have to back off, and he traded a healthy number of mutas for that attack.
Still, I think it's okay because he is actually transitioning into that tier 3 army with Roach, Hydra, Viper. Does make sense.
He finds 2 siege tanks with roaches. That shouldn't be happening. And these are just +1 roaches. Look at this creep spread as well. This base can't even land yet.
Yeah, and that's only, you know, phase 4 of this Zerg attack on that 3rd base. He's coming in with a huge amount of lings now, and a small group of roaches are still out on the map.
Not going to find too much here.
Finds a way in. 2 more tanks are going to be going down at least.
Oh, wow. Yeah, he does get through. Well, he's still going to get 2 tanks here, it looks like.
Not much else there.
The Widowmine was not ready.
Oh! The Widowmine got a hit as well.
Yeah, baited in some of those, that Widowmine hit in there. Now the Roach is trying to find some damage once again, but they are going to go down.
This +2 siege tank is very scary. He's bringing Thor's back here as well. Oh, he's actually going to do a Thor drop. We saw Gumiho find some success with this. He's rallying it in such a weird way. I guess it's probably not going to be scouted. A huge Hellion run by attempt at the same time.
Oh, man. So far, 2 Vipers out, 3 more on the way, so he's really getting a healthy number out, and I'm kind of liking this style. It's really adding up to be a good attack, and it looked like he was aiming for that 3rd base with the Hydras, maybe try and snipe it before the army's in place.
Okay, here comes that Thor drop. He should be able to kill this base if the Hydras are not there. They are headed in the right direction. Oh, they turn around, though.
Oh, he's scared of the main, it looks like. He's going to be covering both bases here.
Hellbat's trying to fight against the full Energy Queen. Is just transfusing this forever.
The Thors have come in here and picked off 7 drone kills. Not the huge amount of damage there in the main.
Hydra's waiting for those Thors as well on the other side, but just enough airspace.
Or will there be? He's going to try to boost Pi, and it looks like just barely he will get by.
Yeah, it looks like he might have wanted to abduct those drops. Looks like we're going to see a 4 Hellbat drop into the main again. What happened to that Hydra speed? It got denied. It must have lost his Hydra stand. It's being rebuilt. We didn't see it on camera, but I saw that denied come up on screen. You know what that means. So Hydra speed not finished.
Yeah, I guess those Thors managed to snipe something in that
Maybe the
base.
Hellbats killed it? Yeah, it looks like Hellbats killed it. Weird.
Super weird.
Or maybe he killed it with Consume, actually.
Maybe. He does have a lot of Vipers. I didn't actually catch it, but he's sitting at 5 Vipers right now, so he's geared up to go for a decent attack, just about where and how. And it looks like he's aiming for the 4th.
There's not that many Vikings in the air as well. There are 7. It's like a medium number here, but against 5 Vipers with a heavy number of Hydras to support them, it is going to be hard to get those angles against these Vipers.
It's so unfortunate he lost that Hydra speed, though, because if he wants to walk up into mech like this with an army that's basically pure Hydra with Viper support, having Hydra speed is kind of essential, right? And he still hasn't restarted that yet. So that's a bit, it's a bit odd. He definitely wants to get that.
Oh, got to be careful with these Hydras. Tank still sieged up there. If you get rid of these Hellions, it's going to give him another decent window to go for those tank abducts again.
Here comes the Thor drop again towards the main base. Maybe get a gas here at least. Needs a target, though, and does not want to get that Overlord.
Oh, it's going for the Hive here. This could be a big problem. He is completely out of position for it.
At the same time, tons of Hellions running into that 4th base, and there's only 3 Spine Crawlers here at the moment.
Looks like the Hive will be saved.
Saved by Overseers because the Thors are attacking them.
Oh, man.
Oh, you might actually just end up losing these Thors this time.
Looks like, oh
my God, the control.
Many
Micros and no targets here from Rogue. They're both going to get away, it looks like.
Oh,
maybe not.
There we go.
I swore he had enough space last time.
Well, he definitely wasn't. He was not paying attention there.
All right, well, here comes the big thing. 9 Vikings in the air, but now Broodlords are going to be pushing a lot of this tank army behind the 4th.
It's a bit unfortunate he lost those Thors, too. They would have been helpful here. We just added 3 starports, but you can tell by the production tab, those tech labs coming up. He's planning a Raven slash, looks like actually in this case, Banshee transition, which is not going to be what he wants. I don't think he's seen these Broodlords yet. I think this is his first glimpse.
Where's he going?
It looks like he's going for the counterattack because he doesn't want to deal with the Broodlord. So he's going to sack the 4th, try trade out some bases while he gets a pretty strong air army by the looks of things.
His Hydras still don't have speed, mind you, so it's a bit tougher for them to chase. But look,
here
there's so many abducts.
And so many Hydras underneath this. So goodbye air army. He's got to reproduce that.
He needs to start using those starports for Vikings.
Oh, man. Yeah, this is the exact same style we saw from Rogue on that Terraform map. He's trading out Vikings with all the abducts, and Now it's down to this ground mech army to try and do damage, but I think it's just going to get cornered by the Broodlords and destroyed.
He never got a place to siege up here, and with this many Vipers in the air as well, he could just get blinding clouded out of here. He's going to try to siege up 3 tanks behind the line of sight block here. Kind of cute, but here come the pulls.
Rogue is one of the only Zerg players right now in Korea who's massing Vipers in this matchup. Look, even catching these units with Broodlords, making Broodlords look mobile. Going to kill at least the spawning pool, perhaps the Hive, though, with those tanks in the main, and that means, you know, he's going to have a bit of a problem going into future tech.
Yeah, that's actually going to create a big issue here, but, I mean, the bigger issue right now is every base is going down for Byung, and he can't deal with it.
He has no money. He's got no bank.
He's trying to fight some Broodlords here with the tanks because that's all he's got left, essentially. He's got a lot of Vikings in the air now, but the Vipers are still alive, and here come the pulls again.
We're seeing very little micro here, actually, on these Vikings.
Oh,
He's actually shift-clicking them on these units as the Hydras are actually shooting the tanks. Bad priority here, though, on Rogue, so he's going to lose a lot of Broodlords. I don't think this is going to necessarily save Byung, but this could have been a lot better for Rogue.
Yeah, it could have been cleaner both sides, to be honest, but I think Rogue is too busy just making an army to kill Byung and finish him off. Look at the supply difference right now.
Slow Hydras, man. If he actually had Hydra speed, this would be a totally different story, but he just types out GG.
Not going to be enough here for Byung, and Rogue once again shows his power against that meching style. And he will bring Jin Air now to a 2-1 lead in this series.
Not an easy win, but definitely well played by Rogue, using his style. And Byung was not able to stop him. Now, who's coming out to deal with Rogue?
That is a good question. It's going to be on Echo. Do they want to... Is it Biel or Hero? But I don't think anyone else will do.
Such an awkward place for CJ. We were talking about this before. Do you want to send out Hero on Echo against Rogue after what happened yesterday? Or do you want to send a kind of slumping Biel? Or do you want to send someone else?
I don't think you want to send Biel for his EVZ. He's shown that to be somewhat of a weak matchup for him. I feel like Biel wants to play against Maru, but Maru hasn't come out yet because they've intelligently placed their order. I'd almost rather see Ragnarok for his EVZ than Biel for his EVZ, man. That just shows you their lineup
already
is
getting excited.
Oh, I'd love to see it, but I think they need to save the spot for Biel and Hero.
I think if they're not going to use Biel and Hero, I think you have to use Hero and not Biel. Like if you're gonna, if you don't use both.
You got to think about the map after this as well. This is going to be Echo for this one, which most likely should be Hero, but then it's Terraform. Maru comes out on Terraform against Protoss. Then what happens?
Makes him look silly, man.
But then Biel could come out on Cactus Valley against Maru, and that's a good matchup again.
Yeah, I think